So this one thing that feels so small actually is bigger, because if we're doing it in this part of our life, where else are we doing it in another part of our life?
Exactly. That's why I started off with the going to the restaurants. Just
Yeah, and
make that decision.
prime example, I'm going to bring something up. We had a decision to make between us. Now, there is a technique that we use and we're going to use more in the future. And in another podcast, we'll teach that if it comes up for bigger decisions. But the big thing for me and you is that we made a decision. Are we going to employ someone, or are we going to bring a contractor on, more to the point, right now, to do the things that we will create more time and more relevance for what we want to do, or do we not? And that's quite a big decision. So we did something where it was, we went and made a decision on it. And it was like, the way I see it, and this is just for me, is I think aim, fire, and see where it lands. And then where it lands, we'll just, yeah, that's fine.
You mean fire aim
Or
or
fire,
aim
aim.
fire?
I'll say it in a different way. Fire and aim and fire.
Yeah.
The whole point is, for me, is where is it hit the target? So as a
Hmm.
decision, where is it hit the target? You've made a decision. It's the same concept that you are talking about with the food, and you're creating that muscle you use, where it's every time you go for dinner, you go, I got 15 seconds. And I've watched you do it. I have watched you do it, because I was like, does he do this? And I'm like, nope, he does. And you sit there and everybody's like, you decided? You're like, yeah. You're like, have you decided so quick? And then it becomes a conversation about the hell you decided so quick. And I remember when we finished, I'm gonna say this story is, I remember we watched Alex play golf in a tournament in February time last year,
Okay.
whatever it was. And your father-in-law was over, I believe, and you all sat
Uncle.
down.
Uncle.
Uncle, sorry, uncle. Family member, I'm going to use that so I
Yeah.
don't get stuff wrong. Family member was over, and you literally, we had that big table, and you literally picked up the menu, you went, finished, sat there, and I remember him saying to you, how have you done this? How? And you were like, yeah, I just decided to have this.
Yeah.
It was ironic to watch people's reaction when you made a decision so fast.
Yeah. That's just something that I've worked at, and the muscle has gotten stronger as I've done it. So it's been, and I'm really, you know me, when we get together, if we're going to be talking business or we're going to be just having a conversation about something, my first question is, what's the outcome of our conversation? When we're done here, what are we going to decide when we walk through the door? If we're in a meeting, when we walk outside the door, what's the outcome going to be?
Yep.
And so there's got to be some decisions made, right?
Yep.
And that just speeds up life when you start making better decisions or faster decisions. And you have to, and there are some safety, there are some different times in life where, yeah, you need to find out all the information before you make that decision. But you have to give yourself a certain amount of time, and then you just got to make it using intuition, using reasoning, using the facts, those types of things. I think it's all powerful, but just make those decisions. And if you think about it, making a decision and how much we think about different things and how much time and energy is wasted from not making that decision. How many people are out there today that need to think about this? Anybody that's listening, what's one decision out there right now that you've been thinking about and you haven't taken any action on, right? Is it calling the doctor? Is it like having to go to the dentist? If you're like me, dentists are just not fun, but I have an appointment on Friday to get my teeth cleaned, right? I made a decision that I'm going to keep getting my teeth cleaned because a healthy mouth is a healthy body. And I've chosen that's more important. So I make a decision, and every 6 months I go get my teeth cleaned.